Hey, welcome to the Huntsville Hustle Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Fandy's HVAC. Hey, it's too hot. Get that air fixed. They can help you out with that. They're not going to charge you any extra stuff. Go help them out. So on this show, we're going to highlight the small businesses and nonprofits that are the backbone of the Rocket City. And our guest today is Robin Kramer. She's the owner and CEO of Next Step Farms. Robin, welcome to the show.
Well, good morning, Joe. It's so good to be here. It is so good to be here. I see we have many friends in the same circle, so that's always great to make that final connection, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Huntsville's big, but it's pretty small. You're pretty close to just about anybody you want to meet. So that's why we want to do this show, because, hey, maybe you need to meet someone that I know and vice versa. So for people who haven't heard about it, what is Next Step Farms? What do you guys offer over there?
Next Step Farms is a local nonprofit, and what we are doing is we're teaching adults with intellectual disabilities how to live as independently as possible using a small family farm. Because if you think about it, a small farm encompasses everything you and I need to run our households. And that's what we're trying to teach them to do. So, and here we are out in Harvest just doing it.
So if someone comes out there, is there a typical day, what that looks like for the farm, for the participants that do come out there?
Our individuals come in. They arrive anywhere between 8:15 and 8:45, and we build in a transitional time for them because if you think about it, even when you go into work and when I come into work, there's that slough off period, that time of day where you just need to take off whatever happened at home, whatever argument you may have had with your kids or your spouse, and you need to refocus on what the day needs to be. So we build that in here. We call it our coffee clutch. And we tend to have hot chocolate or coffee or juice, something, so that we can just take it off, start the day. Morning meeting starts at 9, and we use something this community understands, agile project management, but we use it farm version, where everybody figures out what it is they want to work and where they want to work for the day. We ask our individuals to stay in that field for 3 months at a time because it takes that long for them to develop the skills they're trying to learn. And then from 9 to 11:45, they're out doing their different tasks. And they could be on one of 5 teams. I'll cover in just a second. And then we have lunch, and then we finish up our task, and then we do healthy habits in the afternoon from 2 to 3. And that is time away from screens, building relationships with each other, because that's just as important for you and I to build a relationship as it is for them. So we build in that time, and we invite the community to come in and help us do that. So our learning teams that I referenced a minute ago.
Very cool. I love it.
Yeah, we can. Our learning teams, you're either on a yellow team, which is our business management team. That's exactly what it sounds like. If you call my front desk, one of my individuals is going to answer the phone. They also are helping to plan business decisions. They operate our traveling farmers market, but they also are making the business look presentable. So that means they're cleaning the bathroom. Because I don't know about you, but if I walk into a place and the bathroom's nasty, I'm probably going to walk right back out. So that's a home skill. Then our culinary team, exactly what it sounds like. They're learning to cook. So they make a hot lunch here every day. And they're also learning to take things from our garden and turn it into preserves. We have some really good garlic dill pickles here. Homemade. Our dill, our garlic, our cucumbers. The only thing we have to buy are the vinegar and really the sugar. Everything else is ours. They've grown in their garden. We make jams and jellies out of our fruits. That leads me to our garden team. Our garden team works with 30 raised beds every day where we have live, fresh plants growing. We're growing all the things that people like: tomatoes, cucumbers, corn, peppers, those fun things. And then we have fruits growing: blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, peaches, apples. All the things you and I crave when we go out looking. Then we have an animal team. They're caring for our 70 animals on our property, from chickens and ducks and goats and donkeys and a cow and pigs, just all the farm-related things that we have. And then our outdoor maintenance, they're taking care of the things on the outside: the weed eating, the mowing, the repairing of the fence, the installing a ceiling fan today. All those fancy little things that you and I do every day, they need the hands-on instruction to learn.
It sounds like a fun day right there. It's hard work, but it's good work right there. Right?
It is. It is. Rewarding. It's very rewarding.
Rewarding. That's the word I'm looking for, right? Yeah, that's it. So I want to kind of take it back. So starting a nonprofit from scratch had to be fairly intimidating. What was the biggest obstacles in the beginning to get this thing off the ground?
Not knowing what questions to ask. You walk into a lot of meetings and people assume that you already know what you need the answer to be, and you don't. I didn't know what questions to ask. I knew how to work with special needs individuals. I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about establishing nonprofit status. I didn't know anything about running a board of directors. I could run a classroom. Not that different, actually. So it was knowing what questions to ask. And because I didn't know what questions to ask, I came across as possibly uneducated. And so people didn't take me seriously. So you factor that plus the fact that I'm a woman in business, it was a double whammy with a concept nobody's ever heard of. So it was very hard to establish myself as being serious. But that was only 5 years ago. And when you look at where we are today, you realize it's a difference, a major difference. So it was
You
a
go a
hurdle
long way
getting
on
people
hustle and
thinking.
heart, right? If you really
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, speaking of heart, you're doing all the things, right? You're doing fundraise, you're doing staffing, growth, all these different things. How do you balance that along with the heart of the people you actually serve?
Surrounding myself with people that hold me accountable. My husband is a huge accountable person. He's very good about saying, you got to take that hat off, Robin. You got to put this hat on. I root myself in my faith because if I allow myself to believe I'm doing this without a higher source, it can go to your head. I root myself with a strong board of directors who are not afraid to tell me they are all friends. We call ourselves a family, but they keep me rooted and hold me accountable. I've had to learn to get out away from myself, not be offended when someone says you need to take a step back. That's a growth area that I may need to work in. But again, back to family and faith are the key things that really help encourage me on those hard days.
I love puns, and Farmily is amazing, by the way. I'm a big fan of that. That's huge. I'm going to steal that if I ever get the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm sure you've had dozens of stories you could share with me, but can you share a story of a participant whose life has really been changed by what you do?
Absolutely. In our very early days, like I said, we've been operational 5 years now. In our very early days after COVID, we had to take people from being locked in their home to being, how do I mingle with people? Society had taught us, stay away, stay away, stay away. So we were having to teach them, how do you appropriately interact with people? So we were being basic, very basic skills, doing basic recipes in cooking, how to wash our hands, how to hold a knife safely. And one of my young ladies, we were making a taco soup that day. And we'd been making taco soup for the last couple weeks on that particular day because we're trying to take them from being told what to do to doing it independently. And she went home that day and her mom on the counter had ground beef defrosting, which is pink, right? When you're defrosting it. And all the ingredients from the corn to the beans to the spice, the Mexican spicing. And she walked in the door and said, Mom, are you making taco soup for dinner? And her mom said, we are. How did you know that? And she said, well, I see the ingredients. I make that at the farm. And her mom said, so you know how to make it? And she said, I sure do. I can turn that pink meat brown with the stove. Step number 1. So her daughter proceeded to cook dinner that night. And her mom called me and she said, Robin, for the first time in 30 years, I didn't cook dinner tonight. She said, you'll never know how far that goes. And that's been several years since that's happened. And it still touches my heart to think about it, to think that for one evening, a mom had a 30-minute break where she wasn't having to problem solve, having to think about what to do, but she empowered her individual to do it. Now, she had a very important question for me. After we both got over our emotions, she said, does she know how to clean up? And the answer was yes.
Even more important, right?
I know, right?
That's an amazing story. I mean, that's just something that seems so small for someone who hadn't been in that situation. But can you imagine the first time ever how much that touched that mom right there? So that's life changing right there.
Is life-changing.
That's independence.
It is life-changing. We've also had other individuals who have gone from we're a stopgap for them. They're trying to learn how to accommodate so they can get a part-time job. So we've not lost. We have prepared for individuals to get a job. They went from not being marketable in the job field to being able to take the word we use in the business world is criticism, but it's feedback. They've been learning to take feedback from different sources and how to do their job. And that's been rewarding. We've had 3 that have left us to go off to pursue other type of educational advancements. Many colleges these days are doing special needs programs that teach them daily living, how to live with others, how to cope in our society. And their first stop was here, learning how to do that while they still lived at home before they moved off. So it's been really cool.
It's amazing. Taking that, you might call it that next step, you might say.
Yes, I think so.
I pay attention. Yeah, that's right. So I like to think about it this way. What are some misconceptions people have about adults with intellectual and development disabilities that we don't really talk about enough?
That they can't do it. Our society focuses on sympathy, and the difference between sympathy and empathy is very simple. When you have sympathy for someone, you feel sorry for them. And when you feel sorry for them, you do things which enable them to be lazy, which enable them to not grow. And it also sends the message of, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. If you have empathy, means you see there's a weakness. It means that you see that they need additional help and an emotion is stirred inside of you. But instead of doing it for them, you do it alongside them and coach them. And society thinks that sympathy is the answer. Sympathy is not the answer. Empathy is the answer. Understanding that they need to bridge that gap from where they are to where they need to get to. And that you could be that bridge if you stepped outside of yourself and just slowed down.
That's a great answer. I like that right there. So more capable than you. You just, I hate when people just look at somebody and assume, well, they can't help me. They can't do this job. They can't do whatever. If you go alongside them and help them, maybe they can. You've proven that over and over and over again. So I love that you're breaking down those walls for a lot of people that they just assume, right? We won't break down what assume means, but you know what that means. Right? So a lot of business owners listen to this podcast right here. So why is it so important for business owners to partner with organizations like yourself?
Oh, you validate us. You validate my people when you invest in us. And investing is not always money. Investing is time. Investing is sharing the story. Investing is acknowledging them. We call it the shopping center syndrome. People, when they see adults with special needs, they tend to avoid and go the other way when they don't know what to do. You and I do it when we go to the store. Think about it. Have you ever been in the store and you see somebody you don't want to talk to? Maybe you don't look your best. Maybe you're in a hurry, so you dart down an aisle real quick. That's their lives every day. That's their lives in their homes with families who don't understand them. That's their lives in their churches. That's their lives in the community when they attend. A simple acknowledgement, a wave, a gesture, coming to spend time with us during healthy habits, to paint, to teach, to do whatever it is you enjoy doing, or playing a game of Uno, validates them. When people feel validated, they gain confidence. When they gain confidence, they gain purpose. And when they gain purpose, they gain independence.
Wow. Your kids call that a mic drop. We could just end this right now, I think, on that one right there. That's a great answer right there. So we all do have a bunch of business owners. If they could all do one thing to make our community more inclusive, what would you ask them to do?
Ask them to make plans to attend our 3rd annual Farm Living on Park Avenue Gala, which is coming up in October. At that event, we have our families there. Our individuals are there. They're a part of the party. We need sponsorship. If you can't be there to attend, sponsorship helps us. We need people to come and meet our people, see what you're supporting, be involved in their lives. They will talk your ear off and tell you everything you want to know. That's how you show validation. Maybe that's not your cup of tea, an event. Come out and see us. Come out and spend the day with us. Our doors are open every day from 8:15 to 3. We have our farmers market here. We have our preserves that you can come in and you can purchase those items. We also do a traveling farmers market on Thursdays where we go out to different locations. Simply following our website, following our Facebook post, we'll tell you where we're going to be. Maybe you have a place you want us to come to. Right now, we have a location in South Huntsville, a location in Madison, a location in North Huntsville that we go to. You can meet us at those places. They're local businesses who have invited us in.
Oh, there you go. So we also, as a business owner, you could also be a part of that. Tell us more about when is the event in October?
It is October 17th at Stovehouse. And like I said, it's called Farm Living on Park Avenue. And everybody always wants to know, well, what are you supposed to wear? That's it. You can wear whatever. Maybe you side with the Farm Living team and a pair of cowboy boots polished up and jeans and a flannel shirt is your game. Do it. Maybe you're more of a Park Avenue person and you want to show up in your finest tuxedo in a sparkly dress. Do it. I will not tell you what I'm going to wear. You have to be there to see.
Teaser, man. Now you got to show up. Just to show up and find out what she's wearing. You got to be there for that. So when you look at I know as part of your job is kind of future planning, what you want things to look like. 5 years from now, what do you hope next step looks like?
I hope that our Harvest campus out in Smith-Vassar Road is maxed out and we're needing to be doing another location. Am I ready for that?
Yes.
No. Do I know there's a need for it? Yes. On the 2017 census taken in Madison County, there were over 21,000 individuals in Madison County who qualified for a program like this. That doesn't mean all 21,000 need to come here because not everybody's interested in a farm environment, but that means we have a need. Now, since 2017, what's happened in Madison County? Population up incredibly. CDC numbers are hard to get matched because COVID, because of needs going on. It's more than 9% of our population. More than 9%. That's astounding. So I can't stop and say, this is all the number of people I'm going to serve when there's a need. My heart does not allow that to happen. I need to help meet the need. I've been 30 years in the field of special education. I retired from Madison County Schools as a special ed teacher. It didn't stop with just that. Those 30 years prepared me for this, prepared me to be an advocate, for being a voice. Every time somebody hears the story or shares the story and says, hey, have you heard about Next Step Farms? A change is happening. My son just last night called me and said, hey, Mom, I was at the gym and I was wearing one of your farm shirts. And he said, a guy came up to me and goes, I just learned about that farm this past weekend. How cool that you're here. How cool is that? How cool is that? So buy in, be in. We're growing. There's a need out there. We're going to need another location in another county on the other side of this county. Link arms with us.
Hey, somebody listen right now, watching this, whatever. You're the next person they need to know. Get in touch. Just have a conversation. Feel like we can come alongside and help out. It's going to reward on both ends. Get on that.
Yes.
So we're gonna do a quick lightning round, right? Are you mentally prepared for this lightning round?
Oh, let's do it.
All right. So this is going to be brought to you by our friends at Huntsville Hub. That's Huntsville's co-working spot for solopreneurs and small teams. And they don't be on that messy kitchen table and the loud coffee shop. You go over there and get the desk, the meeting rooms, coffee, all that stuff you need. You can book a tour at huntsvillehub.com. Mention Huntsville Hustle. Get your free day pass. All right. So I'm going to ask you the first one. What's your favorite Huntsville area restaurant?
Carrabba's is the chain that is my favorite, I have to admit. I like good, solid Italian food.
Carrabba's is undefeated. It's great, right?
Yeah.
So what's the favorite part of your day?
Quiet moments on the farm in the morning when I get here. I can hear the animals, the donkeys hollering at me, the cow mooing and the ducks quacking. And there's just a sense of calm that affirms we're on the right path.
There you go. So what's the best advice you've ever been given?
Keep a calendar and be sure and block off at the first of the month times for yourself, or it will be invaded by other things.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to make time for yourself as a business owner. Everyone else wants your time. You got to block it off for sure.
Yep.
On the flip side, what's the worst advice you ever been given?
That perception is reality and you can't change people's perception of you. The
Excellent.
truth is you can.
Yeah, you're doing it every day for folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's something people might be surprised to learn about you?
I lack confidence.
Wow. I would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, it's true. I lack confidence. You could say something to me in just a casual observation and my mind will dwell on it until I say it out loud and I'm able to go, that's not true. We do have that in place. So I lack confidence, and that's a self-confidence thing. My husband is like, I can't, that's crazy, but it's true.
I would have never so that is one. So we kind of mentioned about, I want to go back over it a little bit. So someone's listening right now and they want to support Next Step Farms, but they can't really write a big check right now. What's the most valuable thing they can do to help your mission?
Come spend time with us. We teach healthy habits every day from 2 to 3. And healthy habits to us are about building relationships and building hobbies and skills. Skills away from computer and technology. I know technology is the wave of the future and we wouldn't be working today without it. But they already struggle building relationships. So they need somebody to invest with them. Maybe you have a hobby of, teaching how to braid hair. Come teach it to us. We have music that comes in. We have a guy that teaches yoga right now that is phenomenal 1 day a week. Come in. Maybe you don't have a skill. Some people don't. But you like to sit on a front porch under a fan with a glass of tea and just talk. So do they. So come spend time with us. Call our main number. You can reach us at 256-993-2566 and say, what availability do you have? I want to come work with Healthy Habits. We will hook you up. Maybe you've got more time in your day and you want to be a program volunteer. Well, that requires a little bit of paperwork. Call the same number. Go on our website. We need program volunteers. Having volunteers here that are regular and steady remove some of my overhead for paid staff. My staff is not here because they make exuberant amounts of money. They are here because they're passionate about the mission. But it's nice to be able to pay them because then we have accountability in place. And I have to maintain a certain ratio between clients to staff.
There you go. So, and what is your website?
www.nextstepfarms, with an S at the end, .org.
There you go. We'll link that in show notes. And you guys are out in harvest, but you're also traveling all around different farmers markets, and you're going to be at Stovehouse in October. We got to show up, find out what if nothing else, find out what you're wearing that night.
I know, right? You do not want to miss it, Joe. I promise.
No, I do not. Man, you sold me. That's for sure. So we'll link all the events and all that good stuff where you can be and find them and all that good stuff in the show notes. But thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for what you do every day. They can never thank you enough, I'm sure. But what an amazing, rewarding thing to do every day.
Thank you. Thank you. It is rewarding. I'm tired, but it's rewarding.
Well, it's going to pay off for everybody involved in that. And someone listening right now, you need to get involved. You need to go check them out. And if nothing else, spread the word. That's what we're looking to do, just spread the word. Because if you don't need them or know someone, you know someone that knows someone. That's what this show is about,
That's
spreading
right.
the word about that and getting the word out for someone that does need to know them and maybe can be supporting them and come alongside and be a donor and all that good stuff. So thank you for keep up the great work, Ron. We appreciate you and appreciate our sponsors, Vandy's Heat and Air, Homely Huntsville Newsletter, Huntsville Hub, and website building geniuses at Mick Williams Marketing. Robin, keep up the great work. We're going to at least see you in October in whatever you're wearing, but we might catch you at a farmer's market around town, something like that. Just if you see Robin, just stop and have a conversation. That's all she's asking, right? We'll just start with right there. Appreciate that, Robin. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on the Huntsville Hustle Podcast.